I guess I should also, like, post it in, whatchamacallit, that Discord or fucking whatever.
Alright, now it's on.
Now it's
purple.
on. Now it's on.
Why is the stream purple?
What do you mean
Why
it's
is
purple?
the stream purple?
Look at it.
I'm gonna hate what
It's not purple for me. I don't think.
No, it looks normal.
Oh, no, it's fine. What the fuck was that? Why was it purple?
Nate, why is it purple?
Selected? I think I had the video highlighted.
That would probably do it.
Like you have text. How did it do that though?
Nate over here, like, why was it purple? As
What
he's
if
wearing
it was purple?
What if it was purple?
Glasses.
Where my my purple lenses? What's
Yeah.
wrong? What? Why is it purple?
I don't understand. It's purple. Why?
Why is it purple?
Why is it fucking purple? that was a good bit to wait for people to join on. Hopefully the audio is finally balanced better, because I know one thing I had was my voice was constantly too quiet, which is ironic for everyone that has ever heard me talk. Anyway, welcome to this. The final route of Heaven Will Be Mine. There is only the illusion of choice.
Yeah, sorry.
We are pulled down not by the weight of gravity, but by the inevitability of we've already made all the choices.
Have consequences.
Our action. Heaven Will Be Mine will remember that and did. I can't find where my notes app is. There we go.
Wow, we're really getting into the Luna-Terra mindset today.
Mm-hmm.
Starting out strong, aren't we?
Everything is meaningless. There is no actual choice.
Speaking
no
of,
choice.
hey, Luna T, do you want to tell us a little about yourself?
Oh, all right, yeah. So, from the Memorial Foundation faction, self-ship Mayor Christian. See, it's self-ship here, but it's ship self everywhere else. So what's the fucking truth?
AV, what the
Memorial
fuck?
Foundation A's pilot.
Wait.
Fighting for the pilots to join the rest of humanity back on Earth before it's too late. Good at sniping, espionage, double-crossing, ghosting. Bad at loving herself, and everything else.
Hey, what kind of ghosting are you good at? Quick question.
Don't worry about it. You know, battle
question.
ghosting,
Is that a thing?
Shut up. You know. I'm like a ghost on the battlefield.
Wow. Oh, for those... I should probably clarify. For those who maybe are just joining, yes, the Memorial Foundation Hostel. Luna-Terra is being voiced by our boy Nathan. Otter is voicing Saturn, and I, Adelaide, am voicing Pluto. Our side cast for this route are, because I already consistently voice more dominating type of people, instead, Luna-Terra's mommy dom, Europa, is voiced by Otter, and since Otter is voicing the brat in Saturn, I'll be, in this route, also voicing Halamede, the Pillow Princess herself, when she finally appears.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
The only other things that will appear are through emails. We're going to see Dr. Nix, voiced by Nate, Iapetus, voiced by me, Europa we already saw, and I think that's really it. That's our Dramatis Personae. Anyway, sorry Nate, you can go ahead and I'll just sip my beer.
Alright.
I mean, sorry, Luna T.
From the Division of Existential Safety, conflict-enabled ship self-archetype model, first flight July 16th, 1969. Place of manufacture, Sea of Crises, Earth's moon. Our hope for a throne of the soul for the Memorial Foundation International Space Program and all humanity. Until no one is forgotten and all are remembered. Registering pilot. Welcome, pilot First Class Luna-Terra. Error. Multiple maintenance issues. Uh-oh. And critical errors detected. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, my launch permissions are locked.
Uh-oh.
Errors.
Sorry,
Let's see.
I'm hopping between this and throwing socks at my cat who keeps trying to knock stuff over.
There's a possible sensor failure, so upper limb connectors are not registering. No weapons are loaded. Critical errors. Mass Alert 1. Healing failure on critical area in your core. Possible bleeding. Mass Alert 2. Tidal cores resonating at levels harmful to the pilot. Read manual firmware update. Or ready manual firmware update. Yay!
What's
Conceptual ammunition. That'll fix it.
Unfortunately, Koji, you're right. That is literally what this error is. My cat wants attention, and she chose the worst time.
Put her in a kennel. Like she's going to the vet.
Little
hey.
kitty cage.
We know it's
Yeah,
January
where she
7th.
belongs.
I
bleed too.
Okay, what if I just picks up my cat and launched her?
Throw her!
She's gonna join the space program! Ooh, right
Yeah.
into the sky! Let's go, Scully! Whee! Whee!
Told you.
That one was more of me lifting her up like, whoopsie baby! She wasn't super keen on that either, it turns out.
Yeah, I bet she hates that too. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
she won't do
it
it.
turns out she doesn't like that.
If you do shit she doesn't like,
Then I'll feel bad, because then
Stop
I
being a
did
fucker.
shit that she doesn't like. And I'm a nice person. I'm a nice mommy.
Self-generated by forced overloading, tearing the core open during sustained conflict in the Mars Ares regression campaign. All critical systems have naturally healed, yet the wound continues to bleed into space. Fuel efficiency lowered, healing speed reduced, and tidal reactor speed cannot be regulated, leading to possibility of overload and increased pilot strain. It is strongly recommended that you seek assistance of a full maintenance team. A lack of understanding of the full effects of gravitational conflict on the human gestalt means that this computer cannot provide adequate instructions on therapeutic measures.
Just like Nier.
Permanently disable Mass Alert 1. Really ignore? Yes. Provide reason. I can handle it.
Hey!
Automatic scan alerts show that this may not be a very good reason. Would you like to provide another? No. Mass Alert 1 disabled. Details, Mass Alert 2. Tidal reactor has had unauthorized modification that is causing an unsustainable chain reaction.
Whoopsie.
Notice, this ship is not equipped to handle prolonged operation at this capacity. Increasing short-term output may cause long-term failure. Loss of gravitational stability may cause fracturing and instability of pilot. Permanently disable Mass Alert 0. This Mass Alert cannot be disabled by pilot authorization.
Ha!
Putting the password in. Yeah! Fuck you!
So what's the reason?
I'm fine.
You're normal.
My ship is in spacefaring condition. I'm cleared to launch. Yeah! Fuck this OS.
Ooh, what's the
There's a
message?
message for me. I don't care. No!
Otter.
Letting you keep this as my gift to you, Luna-Terra. Your favorite and loosest leash. Prove to me you've learned not to choke on it.
Yeah. What if I splashed a kitten with water?
Yeah,
Sorry.
do it.
She keeps trying
Oh, that's
to...
meaner than throwing her, I think.
Yeah, but it lets her know, stop trying to scratch my goddamn guitar.
Well, that's why I'm saying pick her up and throw her.
But she's far away.
Oh, alright.
Scratching my guitar. She wants to see what's inside of it, and she knows that I don't like when she does that.
If it's that urgent, it's too late. If it's not too late, it can wait. Let me enjoy the view of the rings. They are beautiful, even though there's only so long you can watch them before even the sight of the six planets' rings become as boring as a blue sky. Mirror Chrysium sensors render them in every detail, using every sense as perfectly as she always has. You really are getting old, aren't you? Both me and you. I should probably list a control and throw you out and get a new one. That doesn't seem right. You're only supposed to get one body. Even if I haven't been very good to you, I can never throw you out. We're all we've got.
The metaphor.
The metaphor. The Mirror Chrysium is a test type model. It was made as a proof of concept. It isn't the first vessel made to grant humans locomotions and life in space, but it is the first to allow for outward expression. In all kinds of ways. It can do so many things, and they gave it devices for everything, because they hadn't estimated how powerful tidal engines would become, or what sorts of things humans would really want to do in space. It's the first machine meant for conflict, but it's also the last machine that was meant for other things too. A ceremonial tin soldier made to impress. An impossible to use machine. Mind machine or biofeedback interfacing is necessary to give humans control over a second body, but the Mercurium is done completely manually. It makes Luna-Terra sort of a genius and sort of an idiot, but she can't do things any other way. I'm having so much fun, it's hard to believe it's going to be over so soon. No, I love it when old things are over. And new things begin. Open the channel. Let's hear those standing orders.
Oh, hey, it's you again. Or your faction.
It's January 1st, 1980, and in the long and cold war where humanity united against its nemesis, an existential threat from beyond the stars, has been over for a long time. Since the 50s, we have been fighting a war against an existential threat that we cannot understand, cannot perceive, and is powerless against the technology of Earth. This is a pretty stupid sort of war to fight, isn't it? When there's enough of a mess down here to worry about. Humanity is already the disputed authority of reality, and we have the physics to prove it. It's time to return to Earth, our home, the seat of the universe. Before Earth takes us back in pieces, let's go home with grace. On the first anniversary of the decommissioning of the International Space Program, we, Memorial Foundation of Native Spirit Existential Safety, in agreement with our home planet's unanimous decision, declare, there is no future for humanity in space. Let's come home.
Points at the
From
screen.
the Return Resolution, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety.
Hey, that's the episode title. Anyway, let's read this for the third time. It's January 1st, 1981. It's been 1 year since we declared independence from Memorial Foundation and the rest of Earth. The Cold War is officially over. And it feels so light without their gravity weighing us down. How can a tiny handful of colonies, terraformers, and schools hold out against the full authority of Earth? Because that ship doesn't fly past escape velocity. To power the ship selves we made to fight the Cold War, we made tidal resonators to bring the gravity necessary for humans and cultures to survive in space. And that gravity is ours now. Enough to make a new world, free from the weight of Earth. If Memorial Foundation wants to kill the future, they'll have to come and take it from us. We're thankful for our cradle's graces, but we're not coming back. The Independence Declaration, Cradle's Graces.
It's January 25th, 1981. Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces have been having fun for a little over a year, and nothing is breaking the stalemate. Earth is getting impatient. They have good reason to believe that the existential threat posed by a divided humanity in space is much greater than any theoretically malevolent entity outside the native sphere. While the kids are fighting, Earth is getting ready to list the humans remaining in space as part of the existential threat, and when they do, they'll send real weapons and end this war fought with plastic toys. Their justification? We are technically less than 100% human, just not human enough to be something else. It's hard to believe they're really onto us. It's time to make a drastic move. Bring our final piece, the prototype ship self string of pearls we made in the atmosphere of planet Cronus, which will never be Saturn, to the lunar gravity well, where Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces are already headed. Whoever controls that place controls humans' access to space. We can be sure everything will be in place there. Earth or space, we are just short of 100% human. So let's see how much less than 100% we could get. Internal report, Celestial Mechanics.
I do wonder about when they were choosing specifically which planets to reference of space, why going with ones that we have... half of our characters are referenced and half aren't. Nevertheless, you two aren't free yet.
So you really have betrayed us, haven't you?
I've never betrayed anyone in my entire life.
Oh my god.
I've never betrayed anyone in my entire life.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Eh.
But seriously, whose side are you on right now? Ah, it sounds so accusatory to put it like that. You know I'm fine with you being on whoever's side you choose. So I can destroy them and drive you back to me.
That may end up being a lot of people.
What, you don't think I'm up for it? Don't worry yourself about that part, kitten.
If you want me to defect back, you could always just ask.
Oh, sweet girl, I'm not interested in you coming back so you can walk away again. Haha, how many times did Halamede fall for that?
Shouldn't count as tricking her if she knew it was coming every time.
Oh, stop it. I hate it when you're modest. It's so beneath you. Give her at least the dignity of a subtle seduction.
I would have. That's not what she wanted.
She really ought to think about her reputation more. And what more is there to say about the trail of messes you leave? But my disappointment in you both is total. My adorable failures, what am I to do with you?
You should go easy on her.
I live to spoil her. Make no mistake that everything she deserves will be visited on you. I wouldn't dream of not letting you have that. You have to know by now how aware I am of what you want and deserve.
Uh-huh. Oh, you're so good to me, Europa. I don't deserve it. When I double-cross you again, be sure to really let me have it.
I hope you do. But I take no chances with loyalty. Halamede merely hopes you will change. I think it's charming that even you believe that you might have some effect on you. But I know much better than you, kitten. I won't let you return no matter how much you beg until you have no other choice. When you can't pivot or run or trick your way through, when you can't second guess or lie, that's the only way to change that nature of yours. Bye.
Well, so I think we got how their dynamic is. Not weird at all, right?
Normal.
They're normal.
Normal.
Right, email. Oh, hey, it's Jams! Well, hey, Jams! How do you do?
Hi, Jams.
Hi, Jams.
uh,
Who is this author? Is this...
Just, I think it's a more ambient type... Wait a minute, I think I know who this is.
I think this is Otter.
I think this is Otter.
I think this is Otter. I think I know who this is.
Yeah, this is Otter's character. Oh,
Yeah.
another character we didn't mention, Mars, was played by Otter in our last route. If you could please reprise your role.
Okay. Oh, you think you're so cool, don't you? Well, watch your back, because I'm coming for you. Think that #1 position is going to last? Not a chance. In fact, why don't we have a little duel about it if you're not too scared? Come meet me in the shadow of Olympia Mons, and I'll make sure that this time you're the one left splattered and helpless and pinned on the side of a mountain, and not me, like the last 9 times. Also, would it kill you to, like, stick around for a bit after, you smug jerk? Not that I'm planning on losing. This time I'm gonna beat you.
Well, I definitely have
Okay.
to read this one.
Okay.
Well, I guess because you two are taking the lead on this, I'll read these next two emails, I think. Yes.
Okay.
Cold War Ace reports, Luna-Terra, first generation pilot research declassification. Memorial Foundation as essential safety. She was unremarkable. I didn't remember her at first. We took any of those who wanted badly to live in space and didn't fit in on Earth. In retrospect, we were asking for a rather unique quality, and it isn't just a coincidence that she was there. The pilots had to be young adults, pass a physical, and not care what space might do to their body. It's not so surprising that someone like her would emerge from that pool of people, but the woman you know today has been iterated on since she was an adolescent. Be assured, I saw nothing of promise in her when I first met her. I told her that myself. I just realized this is definitely Europa talking. Sorry, Otter.
Oh, it's fine.
I told her that myself, as I told all the students. I am uninterested in your potential. We are judged by the self we create. I find that encourages brats not to take their specialness so seriously. That was not Luna-Terra's problem. Piece by piece, she created someone very interesting to be. We gave those children permission, and Luna-Terra was simply unique in her execution. She was never encouraged. She was never punished. We will never find another prodigy like Luna-Terra by looking for tidily sensitive children, because they do not exist. We will not find them pre-made. They must create themselves. Was this not the dream of Memorial Foundation Space Program? And speaking of the brat Halamede, okay, I think that's what she'll sound like. A justification for return, Memorial Foundation Declaration of Intent, Generation Emissary Halamede. Earth is not the sphere of our home planet. It is not the physical body, which is called Terra, the home of life. It is not measured in mass or by its gravity, its position in the universe. Earth is us. We measure Earth by culture. We are the Earth, humanity, the particles of its mass, and our gravity, its body is formed. By our diversity and multiplicity, Earth exists. The living miracle of humanity's shared power, insignificant unless we are joined. This international space program, with representatives all across Earth, represents our commitment to peace, that humanity will never seek again to destroy itself. That humanity has the right to eternal life, invincible bodies, and unrestricted movement in space as humanity expands beyond the sphere, as extensions of the universal human rights of life, culture, and freedom. To protect the growth and sanctity of all culture, ensure a future for humanity, and the defeat of our enemy. On this day, we inaugurate the International Memorial Foundation Space Program. Hey, can you tell how it's annoying? Anyway, the only time you can vote anymore is on which mission we do first each round.
Yeah. Democracy is over.
Democracy is dead
Fuck
in space.
you.
So which one do you want to do first?
Democracy is overrated.
Yeah, Koji, this is a two-party system. We have a party tonight, and then we have a party tomorrow night.
Woo.
What has democracy ever done for us?
Democracy sucked my dick once. It was pretty cool.
Damn. Pretty good.
Oh. Okie doke. Listen, in honor of our first time chat, I got it on a retrograde. Which
These are finally gonna end with me not being owned because they have to.
they legally have to. You
Literally,
legally can't
no
get
other
owned.
reason than they have to.
Normally, my chat prefers
They
Lunatic
could,
getting owned.
Usually, I would get owned every time.
Every
So,
time.
it's
There is one
extremely easy.
particular time where you still get owned that I remember, so we'll look forward to that.
Let me pull up Notes app so I can double check which option. Chasing after the string of pearls, Luna-Terra and Pluto find each other instead. It's been almost a year since they last saw each other, and Luna-Terra has never seen Pluto like this. Are you ready to spin backwards? Launch.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go.
What's going on? You've been pestering me with orders, so what's the sudden holdup? Central set to launch immediately. We have to get to the Celestial Mechanics Lab regardless of whether or not the prototype is already gone. There's valuable information there, but it's worthless if Kratos Graces gets there first.
Have some patience, Luna-Terra. The Cradle's Graces carrier just launched a completely unknown ship self. This can't be right. A person can't pilot a ship that big. The tidal resonance which should tear the pilot apart. Is this... impossible. I hope. I've never seen anything like it, and no, you can't fight it, Luna-Terra, so don't even think about it.
Any better ideas? It must be headed for where the prototype launched, right? Where else?
Because they have to know that it already escaped. Don't underestimate your opponent, Luna-Terra.
Scavenging the lab may be useful anyway. We should have gone there, for information if nothing else.
Even against an unknown and objectively stronger enemy? What makes you so sure, Luna-Terra?
No particular reason.
Or a single particular reason?
You still don't trust me?
Don't insult your former instructor, Luna-Terra. I knew how much to trust you before you betrayed us to Cradle's Graces. My opinion hasn't changed because we welcomed you back into the fold. My best pilot and worst student, you've never been predictable except in your consistency for trouble. But it's a reliable metric.
You're right. You know me. So if you're worried, don't have to let me have free reign like this.
Since you were a kid, from your earliest academy days, you've never been able to look in my eyes and lie. You only got away with anything by keeping your mouth shut. Very unlike Pluto, the hope of Cradle's Graces. She could lie right to my face, with a smile, if she thought it was for the best. Pluto exceeded the wildest expectations of the pilot program, so much so that it was decommissioned in part because of her. If Celestial Mechanics have successfully built a monster that can withstand her, this engagement will end in disaster. And that is much more terrifying than this machine you're so eager to fight. That concerns me far more than you betraying us or fighting a battle you can't possibly win.
I don't think any of you really understood what you were doing. Pluto is unreal. She's far more overwhelming than any of you understood. If that ship is unworthy of Pluto, it's going to be torn apart under the pressure of her, not the other way around. Pluto's the only real human being. No wonder she feels so alien when she looks at us.
You want me to let you take an impossibly dangerous mission because you think you can save our enemy? What can I say to that? Maybe she can teach you the lesson I can't.
Hey, like walking up underwater, to the wet burn of your lungs' desperation for air. Like floating untethered in space, unable to move under your own power. Losing the security of gravity is like being naked in space. Gravity is necessary for human life in space. Gravity is necessary for unrestricted movement in space. Can't have one without the other. The force that binds your existence together, the force to shape foreign bodies, pure agency. Gravity is necessary not just to live in space, but to be human in space. But being human is a little harder for Pluto, so she has to work for it. The tidal forces of her spacefaring body, the current macula, are as strong as she believes, and as weak as she feels. And Luna-Terra needs to make sure all the calculations are in order. Everything in her ship operates manually. She's just been at it long enough that it feels like a second skin. The jolt of nostalgia interrupts Luna-Terra's mental map. She forgets to carry the one. It interrupts Pluto's focus, and she has a moment where she's not invincible. Close enough to touch the surface of the moon lab, Luna-Terra is seen and known by Pluto, and they are suddenly falling down the well of too late and nothing you can do. I knew it. Oh no.
Warning, gravitational interference.
Oh, do you want to take this one?
Sure. It's important to get a grip. Knowing that there's nothing you can do is something Pluto considers freeing, and Luna-Terra considers exciting. Feeling doomed is clear permission to do whatever. As soon as the Mare Crisium is through the cloud cover, she fires solid light into the remains of the Celestial Mechanics lab and chases it through the wound. The lab was recently damaged by the illegal launch of a hijacked ship, but that damage is barely noticeable compared to the massive hole left by a much, much larger ship crashing through. Luna-Terra acts fast under pressure. If there's no point in hiding, there's no point in stopping. It's true, Luna-Terra is living on the whim of the Cruel Macula, which can probably do whatever to her at any time. If she can't run away, though, she wants to make the first move. It's the sort of thing that makes a lot of sense if you think about it, and no sense at all if you think a little more. But that's Luna-Terra, isn't it? She's betting you'll think too much or not enough. Against Pluto, is that really such a good idea? She's someone who always thinks just enough. Which makes it easy for Luna-Terra to slip through, deep into the lab, until it gets quiet except for the sounds of the moon quaking and trembling. After almost a year, the dread and the thrill is way too much to slow down and start talking. That's what the arrow flying into Pluto's gravity well is saying. Who will make the first move? When Luna-Terra punctures the last armor layer and opens up the terminal cavern, light spills out and screaming sound, because the Cruel Macula is peeling the lab and most of the moon inside out with the forces of its own tides. It's not something that's impossible or anything, it's just something that's only possible in theory, which is still terrifying. More terrifying. And more terrifying than that is Pluto's finesse. And more terrifying than the finesse is her gentleness, spooling matter like threads in the tiny galaxy of which she is the sun. Her power is very kind, but it's also a little perverse. What meaning does mercy have from something that can core out a moon? Cruel Macula's developers compared it to a black hole. They wanted a machine so powerful and absolute, even light couldn't escape it. Luna-Terra understands now that was wrong. She's a star, gushing and twinkling with matter and light. Who wouldn't be swept up in that? The Mare Crisium is so small. Pluto's never seen it from a perspective like Cruel Macula's before. She never imagined it would look so fragile from here, like a toy version of the fierce fighter she remembered. Pluto's sense of scale is true. Luna-Terra feels just like a plastic toy, too. Come on, say something. It's making me sad.
It really does fit you. So much more than I ever thought.
Sorry. I was grabbing my inhaler. Is it hard to look away? Being able to render you speechless is the power I've always dreamed of. What do you think? I know just a look won't change your mind, but I want you to tell me.
Tell you what? That I regret betraying you? I told you then that I always would.
No! I won't let you do that, Lunacy. Did you think I'd be mad? I mean, of course I'm mad at you, but not for anything you did to me. I wouldn't ever be mad at you for not having enough faith in me to see through Cradle's Grace's dream of a new home for humans in space. I'm just mad at you for not having enough faith in yourself to see it through, and leaving all the work to me. Oops. I guess that is why I'm a little upset with you. Not mad, you know.
Just disappointed.
Can't believe I'm still the one scolding you like a kid.
I'm trying to be grown up, you know. I'm trying to be the grown up, you know. I did the responsible thing. I took the realistic option. I'm here to play the part of the boring adult, the grown-up villain. Oh,
that's right. I remember why I'm actually mad at you. You better not go down quietly. You better really believe what you just said. I'll forgive you if you left us for something stupid. But I'll never forgive you if you left us for something you don't believe in. And you better not believe in it, because I also won't forgive you for fighting for a future that cruel.
Doesn't leave me a lot of options. I don't think I can fight against that.
Don't you dare! I won't forgive that either. Were you hoping, maybe, that it wouldn't be like this? That I wouldn't have to fight?
It'll change you. In ways you don't understand.
But I've seen you fight so many times. I saw when you got that scar and your poor ship got her wound. Has anyone else seen that side of you as much as me?
I don't think so. Not even Europa. But it's different when you're on the other side.
You think I don't really know you because I've never stared down the barrel of your rifle or felt that knife nick my ship?
It's a different kind of knowing.
Teach me then. Or I'll teach you. Tempting as it is to have Luna-Terra gets owned, as always,
too bad.
we legally can't.
You.
For those who haven't watched the other streams, we've already done the other routes, and I've kept track of every choice we've made over every route, so we can always see new dialogue. Unfortunately, looking at the chart here, it's almost
I lost like every time.
It's almost exclusively we side with Memorial Foundation. It's pretty
sorry.
fucking funny. But
we actually don't betray anyone for once.
shockingly for Luna-Terra, she didn't betray anyone in her
I've
life.
never betrayed anyone in my entire life.
Well, looks like I
How
got
dare you
learned a lesson.
insinuate I have?
Never forgotten. Every story told. What's it gonna be, Lunaty? Oh, right. You never want to make the first move. Then I can go. Pluto sweeps up the swirling, tumbling matter in the hollowed-out moon. Making the second move has always worked for Luna-Terra. She's never been good at setting the pace, only outsmarting it. So it's the only move to make.
Even still, maybe there aren't any winning moves. Luna-Terra has to be ready for that possibility. Kryn Macula is a very impossible sort of machine. Almost as impossible as Pluto.
That's me. Look, Kryn Macula can grind space-time to a crawl with its tidal forces. Kryn Macula can pull an ambient matter into a whirl with enough friction for the combustion to give birth to a star. Emotionally, and almost as much physically.
A tiny sun is born, but Luna-Terra has just gotten out of the way. Luna-Terra isn't where Pluto was expecting, and then there's suddenly a hail of bullets in her skull.
Pluto doesn't mind the onslaught, but it's still shocking. But not in an unpleasant way. It's actually very joyful. Really? Really? You're not just trying to scare me? For real? Not a joke? We're finally going to have a fight about it? Is this body so me that you finally aren't going to be weird about fighting it?
Luna-Terra thinks Pluto could use a lesson in how terrifying actual combat can be. But is there anyone terrifying enough to teach it to her?
Are you trying to hide from me? I've been waiting for a real fight. I'm tired of you telling me you think I'm right. If you really thought that, you'd be here, by my side. So prove I'm wrong already. Or admit defeat.
Bullets through her arm and chest and pretty much everywhere, but that is not a problem. Tear the bullets, even if they're light. Redirect them with gravity. Pull them into a cosmic whirl. They'll never even reach her. They will be always approaching, never meeting. They will be an infinite whirl.
I really like that. We'll always be approaching, never meeting. And that
And
whirl...
that whirl will become... Oh, go
No,
ahead.
go on.
Oh, and that whirl will become a star, watching the Mercuricium in heat and light and radiation.
Ha. That's more like it.
Not fast enough, Pluto. And then she runs Pluto through.
And then Pluto died.
Oh. And then you get owned.
And that's the end. Good night, everybody.
And then I win. My turn. It's not enough, but it hurts. It's serious. The brittle spear is of a cold and rational metal that repels cosmic concepts.
Thank God. I was beginning to worry you didn't care about anything anymore. So here. The star supernovas. Macula holds the star, and Macula is the star. Luna-Terra almost doesn't get out of it. Her engines overheat. The electromagnetic current shorts her sensors, and her chassis is fried. But she can move more than Pluto can. At least for long enough to get away.
But I'm still ahead of you.
Now I know why everyone hates you so much. You're no fun to fight with at all.
Are you kidding? Like you fight fair.
Now that I know what you're really like, I'm not going to accept anything less.
I don't want to do that again.
Well, too bad. Whose fault is that?
Yeah. I know.
Everyone's
Bye.
so mean to Luna-T.
Fuck you.
12%.
Whoop your ass again.
I'll whoop your ass again.
I'll whoop your ass again.
Excited to be out in the field again, doing important work.
We're a long way from anything important out here, I can't help but notice.
You think Command wants you as far away from them as they can get you? What makes you think that?
That you said it, that Command is my ex, and that I did once double-cross the Memorial Foundation.
In that case, you should be happy you're in the field at all, and not in a brig or in the process of being shipped back to Earth.
Well, I am. I'm so thankful. I don't need to be lied to about my work being important.
Oh, I would never lie about a thing like that. In fact, the most lovely sixth planet of our solar system, Cronus, has become extremely busy in the past 24 hours. A major leak out of celestial mechanics has revealed they're finishing a prototype here, and Kratos Graces knows about it too. Apparently the Hellion responsible for the leak has stolen it too.
Wonder who that could be.
Hellion.
You're just the woman for the job. Reining in incorrigible pilots is your specialty. Let's see if that power can be used for good, for once.
Europa, please leave some of me left to fight the enemy. Don't shoot me down before the mission starts.
Was I too mean?
I would prefer direct combat. Any day.
Well, let me tell you something nice then. That Kratos Grace's super weapon, your favorite, has been spotted in the system.
My favorite? What do you mean?
Don't play dumb. You make that same face whenever Macula is spotted.
It's the biggest mystery of their side, and one of the only reasons Kratos Grace hasn't collapsed by now. The Macula's power is unreal. It's far stronger in reality than anything that could possibly have been projected from its original schematics. Its capabilities seem endless and impossible to predict or counter.
And no one knows who the pilot is. The list of people who could pilot something like that is very short, however. Maybe it's someone you know?
Worried I might double-cross you again? I'm not with Kratos Graces anymore for a reason.
Oh, I just never trust you when girls are involved.
Owned.
Bye.
Fuck you.
I do want to note, I don't think we've ever seen any example of Luna-Terra reining in incorrigible young pilots. In fact,
No.
she is probably the most incorrigible pilot. Just gonna put that out there. Also, when we get to the next mission thing, it was only this route of the many times I've played this game. Only last night, I realized Europa is also wearing bondage gear.
God.
Ooh. Candidate interviews. Who are... Hey! First generation pilot candidate interviews. Leaked data packets. Space program intake archives. Why do you want to go to space?
I want a new start.
In what sense?
Get rid of this weight.
We are required to make it clear that the purpose of this program is not to leave Earth, but expand it. The weight will follow you.
But will it weigh differently?
Please explain what you mean about what you said previously.
About what?
What do you mean when you say you don't want to be me?
I don't know how else to say it. Isn't it obvious who would want to be this? Isn't it obvious who would want to be this?
I don't understand what you see that is wrong with you.
I do.
Aha. You're saying that you, as you are, the person who you are, doesn't want to be you.
Yes.
Then you aren't that person.
But that person weighs on me.
So you would like to have the weight of being this other person that you are not. You would like that removed?
Yes. Please.
Pretend I have a clipboard and I'm shuffling papers. I don't have papers near me for this. Oh, wait, I do. That may be possible.
Wow.
Wow.
Wasn't as good as clipboard papers, but fuck it. I had my copy of Detransition Baby was sitting on my nightstand still. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I also have books in my purse right next to it. God, I'm an idiot. Anyway, Otter.
Pilot Program Progress. Memorial Foundation Execution Committee Annual Report. Training Director Europa. The Cold War is looking bleak. The threat from space is more flimsy, translucent, and inscrutable when once it was so strong that all of humanity feared it. Existential threats on Earth are more pernicious than ever, and the Scouts are not keeping up. Pernicious, excuse me. It has become difficult to argue against the possibility that Scouting program has done more harm than good, and that goes just as much, if not more so, for the pilot program. Historically, death has always invited the enemy here in its greatest strength. Humans can't resist killing each other long enough to protect themselves from the existential threat. It is easy to make this argument, but we have had little success with it. No matter how celebrated the slogan is, and no matter how many governments and leaders profess to live by it, the simple fact remains the existential threat can never be as powerful as we are. Humans will always pose a greater threat to other humans than the existential threats will. It will always be easier for humanity to eliminate the threat by killing their own than by fighting the threat directly. While we have offered children and the unwanted to fight the existential threat with existential intent, humanity has turned its gaze inward rather than to the heavens. Not even strong enough to pierce the atmosphere without burning, the existential threat can no longer be labeled as such. For these reasons, we accept the decision to decommission the Memorial Foundation space program.
That was a lot to read at once. I am so sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
I would recommend some water because guess what? It's
Oh,
Otter.
yeah,
it's Otter Nate's turn to
It's
flirt.
Otter time.
Weaving in and out of the sixth planet's rings, Memorial Foundation's ace, Luna-Terra, plays cat and mouse with the renegade ship thief Saturn. Launch.
Let's go.
Oh, I love this song.
Objective in sight. Opening channel to base.
Captain on board. Captain, this sucks.
Well, you heard them, Europa.
Tell those idiots to be careful what they wish for, because the mission parameters have changed. As you know, Celestial Mechanics has been operating a clandestine ship self-development lab with an experimental prototype in violation of the terms of the Memorial Foundation Space Program Decommission Treaty.
We are on a top-secret surprise attack to take out the last operational shipyard and make sure we never have to find out what Celestial Mechanics has been planning to do with it. Couldn't be more obvious what happened. But go ahead and brief me anyway.
No points for guessing. The prototype already launched, rendering most of the base inoperable. We lost contact almost instantly. Find it before it leaves Kronos' gravitational field.
Oh, great. What a pain.
Were you just bored?
There's no way to find it. It's as good as gone.
There is a chance that the ship's self is still nearby, so get to work.
Ugh. Yeah, this is...
Bravo, evade now.
Huh?
Now!
I've got nothing, cat...
Owned.
Bubblegum pink electricity sparks off the ice and dust of the inner ring like a lightning bolt and through his ship self. He doesn't get even the slightest chance.
Owned. Cat... No...
Owned. Don't listen and you don't have any right to complain. Right, Europa?
What a callous attitude you have. Who did you learn that from?
The best. Preparing to engage. I wish Europa would stop sending me boys who can't control themselves. Having fun dismantling my escorts?
With the string of pearls fingers, Saturn carefully peels the mechanical musculature out of the poor ship's arm she's holding, a souvenir of the last of Luna-Terra's escorts that she sent crying too easily back to their base. It's still sparking and oozing, and Saturn wishes her ship had a mouth so she could suck it out like crab meat. Maybe it does have a mouth. The machine has many mysteries the manual doesn't explain, and Saturn is still learning them.
Though I suppose Europa's learned her lesson about sending me girls who can't control themselves.
Oh, really? Hey, that's really interesting. Mind telling me more?
Oh, she's a hacker too? How amusing. There's nothing too interesting on this comm frequency.
Aw, you flatter me. But hey, what did that mean exactly? The part about the girls who can't control themselves? I really want to hear more.
It means back up the talk first.
Please, this heaven will be mine. You have to back up that ass first.
Or can you land a hit off the comms? Luna-Terra's gravitational field focuses to a single point. Luna-Terra isn't budging. She's been through much worse, and so has her ship, followed always by a thin trail from a bleeding wound she never could completely repair. The Mericrysium is over 2 decades old, but Saturn can't even land a hit. It's regal and stiff, dressed in cold metallics, weathered and refurbished. The archetypal prototype for all other ship selves, still going after all these goddamn years. Still furiously untouchable. The string of pearls hasn't gone down no matter how much she's been rammed with that spear. But she hasn't even nicked Luna-Terra's ship once. Not bad at all for a joyride. But can't you get one hit in?
Good thing you don't win by looking cool. No mercy for newbies.
No. Luna-Terra puts a stake of solid light through the string of pearl's leg, pins it to its own gauze wrapper.
Why is this not... There we go. Sorry.
Doesn't hurt at all. The ship's metals begin molding and reforming around the wound immediately. A ridiculous, unfair advantage. Saturn has no right to complain, but she still wants to. She's trying to be cool. Everyone wants to, when in the quiet gleam of that always bleeding ship. It's a pretty amazing ship. Think it'll last? Either you're just fighting for fun, because you're that reckless, or you're caught in your own containment wrapper and can't escape orbit yet. And you'd beat me for sure if I played around.
I'm not done yet. That's not true. It's actually very difficult to move with a solid light bullet in your leg, but she's not going to let that stop her. Saturn is suddenly closer than she logically could be, claws bubbling, but Luna-Terra effortlessly slips away and kicks Saturn's ship directly in the chest.
Yeah, you're done. The containment wrapper is still stuck to you, so your movement's off. Doesn't seem to have stopped you that much.
Right? It was so rude of them to try and stop me.
Seems cruel to take it away when you're having so much fun with it.
Same as you, right?
Do I know you?
Everyone knows Memorial Foundation's perfect ace.
But do I know you?
Hmm.
So I do, don't I?
Let me out of this thing and I'll tell you.
Why should I?
Because you can't help yourself. Besides, you don't want a real fight.
Can you promise it'll go different?
I can promise it'll be more fun.
You were asking me to totally abandon my duty to bring you back and do that instead?
What, you won't? The legendary pilot who defected from Memorial Foundation, then double-crossed the rebels she abandoned them for, can't be opposed to a little fooling around with the enemy.
I guess you do know me. Want to trust each other?
Or is it more fun if we don't?
Well, great news. Luna-Terra legally still can't get owned.
Legally, I have a fucking letter. I have a letter from my doctor that says that I am not allowed to get owned for the next 2 weeks.
Your mom sent you to school with that letter.
Mm-hmm.
Pinned it to your forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Never forgotten. Every story told.
How was that? Did it hurt?
It's just weird. It's weirder that it doesn't hurt.
It's easier for Luna-Terra to cut through the malleable flesh of the string of pearls directly than entangle her from the wrapper. The flesh reforms quickly, so she has to work patiently. Blech. String of pearls might be impossible to destroy, even if Saturn can't land a hit. Luna-Terra feels like somehow she's the one who got lucky. If just this hurt, you'd never be able to. If just this hurt, you'd never be able to fight. Your brain is giving you more nuanced information. You're very sensitive, Lucky. You'll get used to it. If you are serious about next time, think of yourself as something a little bigger.
I like that. Eating big. I'm glad I trusted you.
Stop shaking then, or ask me to go easier.
Just a little easier.
Of course.
Do you remember me yet? I thought you'd remember the name of at least some of the girls you've made out with in supply closets. Your face! Just kidding, but sorry, it was worth it.
You weren't kidding about still being dangerous.
Every pilot knows you. By both of your reputations.
You're definitely Saturn, because no one hated me as much as you. So now I'm curious why you don't anymore.
If I tell you, you'll owe me extra. So save it for the next time you catch me.
Huh. Well, I'll just have to catch you again quick. All free. Now get out before someone catches us. Ever since the day Mars began, Mars has been doomed. No, there will never be a planet Mars. That's a name reserved for places where human life, gravity, and culture reign. This is just bitter Aries. Just like the stringy, inedible weed that grow when nothing else does. Kratos' grace is dug in, and we can't get them out. The colonies are wrecked, the terraforming engines are broken, the gravity furnaces are out of control. There's no resources left on this planet, no strategic value. The planet doesn't even exist. It is an inert rock. There's no point in fighting. There's no need to fight. Ship cells can't keep you alive alone forever, and even if that was the case, we could live tomorrow and claim victory. Most of the Memorial Foundation NSES, they really should not have made this as close to SNES.
Most of the Memorial
already did. Because there's barely any left. I'm gonna start calling it the SNES. That's why we
yeah.
can't get them out. What? Why don't I go home too and leave all those idiots to just fucking die on a rock? What do you think we're doing this for? External communications sent August 31st, 1978 by Memorial Foundation troops.
I was gonna.
And just fucking let them die?
And just let them
They're
fucking
thirsty.
die?
They're thirsty, inedible weeds, and they
I have
need
to
your
pee on
piss.
them.
God, if only I could have named the stream that. But I have my naming convention set. Now, Koji, that is no. Luna-Terra will always sub. There is no sub for Luna T.
We'll see.
Even when
We'll
she's
see.
anyway.
We'll see.
Hey, it's not like we're idiots. We know we're doomed. This planet still doesn't fully fulfill the requirements for human life. And life is just the start anyway. Don't you know that gravity is something more important? You do understand celestial mechanics, right? Matter is made of tiny particles, but enough of it exerts gravity that stitches the universe together? Well, culture is made of tiny humans, and enough of it together can decide what's real and what isn't. It's really quite fucked up that this is how decisions about humans ever get made. Enough humans can decide anything, and then it'll be true, even about what's human and what's not. They don't even have to wait for the deadline. They've already decided that any human without their feet planted on Earth is in fact not a human. That's a pretty usual thing for humans to do. No differences of any kind need to exist. We'll just be aliens, and they'll send the real military after us, and we'll die. But if we hold the line here, for our princess to get through and make it to the moon, she'll open up the gravity well, and then we get to decide. Internal communications sent on January 25th, 1981 by Cradle's Grace's Irregulars. A lot of princesses in this game.
Shut your ass up. You're gonna lose.
Because all women are princesses.
You're gonna lose.
It's morning on Ares, but what's time and space? If we can get our capital ship launched and refueled and the prototype retrofitted with the final equipment, we'll have everything in place. Keep out of canyons of Mars, where Cradle's Graces and Memorial Foundation are bickering, hold the city ruins against invading troops, and make sure no one tries to set the oxygen ocean on fire while we refuel. It's a pretty thankless job. But me, I can't wait to see what happens. This is the most exciting space has ever been. Before we got here, this was a dead rock. But the best we could have ever hoped for was Earth in a different place. Who needs that? Far in the distance, the moon's gravity well shines. If no one controls it before the deadline is up, Earth will take drastic steps to ensure that humanity is not divided. What they're afraid of happening, we will ensure that it happens. We'll finally have something alien in space. Private communication sent on January 26, 1981 by a celestial mechanics researcher.
Oh, I guess I should point out, if anyone is a little confused by some of what's being talked about or going on or anything like that, just say, ask specific questions, we can always jump in now that we've seen most of the game. But anyway, it's day 3.
Wow.
We're in the second half of this stream now.
Wow. Oh, man. Error 1. A failure to explain why Celestial Mechanics ship's string of pearls was not successfully apprehended. Uh-oh. Error 2. A failure to explain why Cradle's Grace's ship Chromaculum was not successfully incapacitated.
Anime girl bonking head, sticking her tongue out like, oops.
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 Please correct errors before proceeding. Man, shut up. Resubmit. Warning, no corrections submitted. Man, shut up. Penalty assignment, sniper duty, planet areas currently held by Cradle's Graces. Aw, man. Purpose, preventing celestial mechanics refueling and egress. Aw, man. Penalty assignment, sniper duty, Cradle's Graces held by planet areas. You already said that. New purpose, top secret, take out Cradle's Grace's prototype Kern Macula on a research assignment in Cradle's Grace's territory. You just, man, this sucks. Man, penalty assignments cannot be refused. Indicate you've understood new orders. Shut up. Yes. You ready for gravitational? Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck you.
I don't give a shit.
Suck my... Hey,
Suck
here's
my
some orders
ass.
for you. My ass.
My ass. Fuck you.
Enjoying your missions? More thrilling work than fighting the half-hearted troops left on Ares?
Much, much more. I forgot what it was like to work this hard. I'm rusty.
Are you unhappy with your progress?
I don't know.
Are you unhappy?
I don't know.
It's always been very hard to tell with you, though I'm not sure if I can answer that question better than you. I've known you since you were freshly assigned to the first pilot wave. You were so delicate. And you've only become more delicate, even as you've become stronger.
Didn't think you'd describe me back then as delicate.
I saw it very clearly, though the other executives thought you were a scrappy pain in the butt. You were just scared.
There's no point in pretending otherwise. You just see through it. Guess I haven't changed as much as I thought.
Long ago, I saw a strong and delicate girl. I have worked hard to make you more and more of that, rather than simply cultivating your strengths. Understanding your weakness is needed to grow. Let me ask you again, and this time focus. Count backwards from 20. Remember a moment of comfort. I'll wait. Are you happy or unhappy?
I don't know. Because I feel like I'm on the cusp of something. It's frightening, yet it could be something amazing.
That's a real feeling. Good girl. Are you blushing?
Anyone would. I feel even more embarrassed than I did back then.
Ah, that's an even better feeling to have. Hold on to that one. Bye.
Bye.
No, click. Click. Oh boy. Halamede 1. Leaked data packet. Second generation pilot candidate interviews. Why me? Anyone.
Well, because you're special. I'm a special kind of child.
All children are special.
Ah, that's true, they are.
I'm not more special than those children.
We think you might be.
Special how?
You're the top of your class already at such a young age. We think that you might be able to do things that others children can't.
But my sister is better than me at all of those things. And my Aunt Europa when she was my age.
We think you might be special in a different sort of way. Can you look at the box in front of you?
Okay.
Pass your hand over the box.
Okay. Nothing happened.
We're using an instrument to measure something that is very, very small. But moving it even so little that you cannot see it would be very important.
How do I do that?
You should not think about it. Just do it.
But I can't.
Do it.
I know you can.
I can't.
Your aunt and your sister could easily do as much. So you can do as much too.
Oh. It moved.
Did you get that? Yes, I saw it move. Literally saw it. Contact the director immediately.
Europa, your fucking niece. She's a crazy psychic.
Fail, niece.
Fail me.
Who wants to read this one?
I can read this.
Good.
Unified Culture Theory. From Memorial Foundation Introductory Literature. Unified culture theory is a brute forcing of defined solutions for the universe through the forceful elimination of all other possibilities. The theory is attractive to those who desire a beautiful, simple, endlessly complex solution for the universe. In order to develop this theory, there needs to be a solution for the Nix aversion paradox, which demands that anything not human exists in the everse. The everse?
I think it would be Everse because you have the Yeah. Anyway.
Is that where e-girls come from? The most compelling current premise for a unified culture
Wow.
theory under contemporary physical models involves the full integration of all available concepts, directed and established in such ways as to maximize benefit for humanity. This theory of everything speaks to the desire to know, understand, and master the universe while also incorporating a premise of universal love, happiness for everybody, free, and let no one be left behind. Unlike tyrants of old that crush alternative futures under their heels and only cause the existential enemy to blossom, such a unified theory would welcome and forgive all humanity and direct all to benefit all things that are, and that might yet be. That means nothing. Thank you.
Well,
Thanks for the word salad.
thanks for the word.
Thanks.
Wait, let me go back. Let me real quick. The first part's like, yeah, okay. This sounds like something fucking Europa would say. And then
Okay,
this is just
tyrants
fucking
used to, like, erase all possibilities, but that's not what we're doing with our possibility erasing machine. Fuck you.
Fuck
See, like,
you.
this sounds like it could have been convincingly said by Iapetus to be like, no, I know I'm trying to make a unified culture theory, and that's bad, but what if it was good?
But what if I did it and it was good?
What if it was good that we were tyrants?
What if it was poggers, actually?
Yeah.
I mean, Nate just said the E-verse, where e-girls come from.
Yeah,
What
that's
is
where
more
e-girls
poggers?
come from, right?
What is more poggers than making more e-girls?
E-girls and e-boys.
Unified e-girl theory.
What do you call e-non-binaries?
Edoms?
That sucks.
That sucks.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else.
I cannot. No, I was about to do discourse referencing our Discord conversation, but I cannot. Not on Twitch.
How dare you? Anyways.
Eddie not ready to get canceled.
Not ready to get
No.
canceled for a joke. Anyway,
What are we doing?
what if we could not make it cringe? Audience, which one would you like to see first? Dealing with Pluto more or dealing with Saturn more? Who do you want Luna-Terra to totally not get owned interacting with?
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Oh wait, actually, let me double check something.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. If you don't pick, I'll just let my co-host here pick because I don't care.
I also don't care.
Otter's
Here's the
turn.
problem. Otter's turn.
Oh, dang. Let's go with Rift in the Earth.
Wow.
After her maiden voyage, Cradle's Graces is testing the finishing touches on the terrifying Cruin Macula prototype. It's a chance for Luna-Terra to defeat their trump card, but will she close the rift between them instead, or only widen it deeper? Launch.
Damn, that's crazy.
Damn. Luna-Terra, cancel the launch. There are new orders.
Luna-Terra cancelled.
Really? I thought they were very insistent about this mission, and it's a good idea, so I thought I'd do it.
The new orders are Cradle's Graces. Superweapon has contacted the base already. Send anyone except for Luna-Terra there immediately.
Oh, I see. Well, prep the Mercurian for launch.
Luna-Terra, even I have to say something if you disobey an order right in front of my face.
But you don't disagree? Or you just stop me instead of saying something?
A certain degree of questioning orders from the top is allowed.
Given who's in charge, obviously. Calameda's just a foolish princess.
Hey!
Bitch. If Cradle's Graces is using that new weapon, that's all the more reason not to send randos who wouldn't stand a chance against it.
You fundamentally misunderstand Memorial Foundation, Luna-Terra. Alameda leads the recovery effort because no one else is fit.
Yay!
Shut up. Only that naive, conceited, foolish girl
Hey!
has the love required to bring humanity back to Earth.
Naive, one-sided, and unself-aware love.
Why is Luna-Terra's route everyone gets shit on?
Bitch.
Nevertheless, that is exactly the love that is required. It's for us to interpret that fundamental impulse in a way that will ensure strategic advantage. So I will ask you, does love motivate your actions? Or are you just that eager to find someone to shatter you into orbit? Your connection with that pilot, and don't think I don't know about it, or who she is. Which is it? Guilt or love?
Will you let me go if I say I need to see her to know?
I would advise against it. Her love might be stronger than ours.
That's possible.
All the more reason you shouldn't get near it.
Well, let me take that risk.
So, last time, because everyone wanted blood, we fought until we forgave each other.
Yeah, we're not fighting this time. We're nice now.
We make up and forget.
I'm nice now.
Never forgotten. Every story told.
I'm nice. The balance shifts because Luna-Terra didn't hesitate, and neither did Pluto. Fourth planet from the sun, Ares, romantic red planet. It was the first planet the space colonization program wanted to make ours, and they wanted to make it be so beautiful. Did they get their wish? It was a beautiful dream, but still a dream. By the time Earth had demanded the space program pull back, they were stuck, still halfway there after so many years. Yet, getting halfway there got them something beautiful, even if it wasn't enough. Where life grows, and it doesn't grow most places, it's in a spring of yellow-green that never could quite get to summer. Tenacious weeds spread all over the planet that will never be called Mars, and even they can barely breathe. Only stubbornness keeps life on Ares, and they would not even be able to endure if Cradle's graces didn't patiently tend to them. They spew pollen uselessly into the air, and between them and the too thin atmosphere, breathing, where it's possible, is hard. The fate of the fourth planet from the sun, even prettier now, just as useless to humans. Pluto's flown... Oh, go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Fair. You do have a lot of lines. You probably need some water. Pluto is Is there something funny?
No. There's no water on Mars.
Pluto has flown past the canyon she's concealed in 3 times already. It's been a perfect shot every time. At noon, even with the sun shining directly on her, the flowers and weeds and their pollen keep her hidden. Should Luna-Terra squeeze the trigger or not? What else is Luna-Terra supposed to do? How can she dare to take that shot, with Pluto looking so beautiful? How can she not? Why is she trembling like that? Does she know? No. Luna-Terra realizes she's the one trembling. If you can stop me, I'll believe in you. I'll give up on everything. But I know you trust... Actually, I think that's... Oh, what
no,
was
no,
it?
that's you!
Oh! If you can stop me, I'll believe in you. I'll give up on everything. But I know you trust me too much. Pluto said that. She might even be saying it right now, knowing that Luna-Terra has the perfect shot. Okay, that's me still. If you're not sure if you're right, I'll be the one to test it. I believe we can have a home in space, and there's no way to bring that back to Earth. You believe we can bring home to Earth, and there's no way to have it in space. I believe in us. We'll figure it out.
Yet it's impossible for Luna-Terra to look at Pluto in the Croon macula, big as a universe, and think it's better for her to not have that. For Luna-Terra to keep thinking, I'm freeing her from something terrible. I'm bringing her home. So Luna-Terra fires. Before she has a chance to decide whether or not to fire, she pulls the trigger, without considering or having a chance to choose one way or another. Her body seizes the opportunity, makes the decision for her. The only way they agreed to, without doubt. Luna-Terra will betray herself every time. Pluto's exposed left tidal reactor shudders and shakes.
No. Oh, I should have seen that coming, shouldn't I? The resulting tidal resonance will be catastrophic unless she shuts both reactors off and reboots instantly. She does, of course, and worries about the ship and the whole world and Luna-T and doesn't hesitate, even though it's clearly the plan. The minute she'll take rebooting will have her plunging into the ground and maybe too damaged to power back on. And so, Luna-Terra dashes to catch her before that. Again, Luna-Terra is the last to know. She's doing it before she's decided if she should do it or not. A coward who cannot commit at heart at least commits to not committing, without thinking about how contradictory or ridiculous it is. Pluto's comms are off, so she doesn't have to yell at Luna-Terra about why this is so stupid or how she needs to grow up or do anything but fall and be secretly happy she's still charmingly stupid. The Mare Crisium looks very funny, trying to catch a ship this much bigger than her. Her engines flare, strain, start to break from trying to slow the fall. Her wound bleeds freely. A tattered, tangled mess, falling down too hard, crumples into the weeds of Ares, nestles at the canyon bottom. It may not be a livable planet, but it's a soft one. It's hard to breathe for very long, but it feels nice to lie in, ship or body. Sometimes it feels like nothing could be worth giving up a ship, but this isn't so bad. Luna-T. Luna-T. You awake?
Yeah, everything hurts a lot.
I gave you some painkillers. Do you need any more?
I can't fly on them.
You're not gonna fly without them either, Luna-T. Your engines are melted.
Oh, right. I thought I did something stupid, but I couldn't remember what it was.
It was a breathtaking sequence of poor decisions. When I said I wouldn't be satisfied to forgive you until I fought you in Ares, I meant when I kicked your butt. Kicking your own butt doesn't count.
As usual. Sorry. Do you want me to move?
Why? Do you want to get up?
Waking up with my head in your lap feels like you're rewarding me for shooting you down. You can be mad if you want.
That's one thing. This is another. There's just nothing else to do with you. You did the right thing, or tried to. And then you did the right thing again, or tried to. You wanted to do the best thing for you and me, but you couldn't decide what it was. There's nothing I can say to that, and it's already done, so just lie there already. I might not get another chance, you know?
You can hold so much. I'm in awe every time. You're the size of the universe. You see everything and everyone, and you hold all of it. Everything's precious. Everything's worthy of you.
I'm not. I can't. I'm small. I'm small and scared. Smaller and more scared than you. Don't say I'm not.
Okay. I won't.
Never again.
I'm sorry. You're small. You're just you after all.
You have to mean it.
You're huge to me, okay?
That's okay. I should be. I hear everyone, and I can't ignore it. Feels like I'll die if I do. It hurts so bad. And I listen to your voice more than any other. Your heart's more important to me. Isn't that proof I'm selfish too? But I'm going to fight with everything I have for those voices, even against you. I just know that, no matter what, we're not going to get what we want. If I let myself slip, I'll trust in your future instead. I know we can't beat Memorial Foundation, so I can't afford to blame you. I can't do anything if I can't trust you.
It's way easier to hate me. It's what normal people do.
I love not giving you that satisfaction, Luna-T. And you really should give up on me ever being satisfied with happiness just for me.
Sure, sure. I know as well as you there's no welcome waiting for us on Earth. I don't know if we'll be happy there, but I couldn't live there without... Well, if you get a miracle, I won't fight that either. My heart isn't that big. But if you ruin the Memorial Foundation, I'd forgive you. I mean, who wouldn't? I, too, want to be free of Earth. To be free of 9.8 millimeters a second squared forever.
Hey, we're gonna be seeing that number a lot.
We love that number.
Are you really sure? I think even that victory will be impossible, even if we win it. But maybe you actually have more faith than me. I think we might not make a happier world.
You can learn how to be happy anywhere. Even Earth. On Earth, we were tied down by the weight of the world. I won't go back to that, even if I go back to Earth.
There are two ways to do that.
Make a home where we set the rules.
Or bring a new law of gravity back home.
If only all of us were as precious and powerful as the planet. But I can take the shape the world requires of me if that's all we get.
That's not true. For you especially, that isn't true. You were the one who didn't let Earth's gravity choose your body. I wouldn't have been able to choose if you hadn't shown me. That's a victory they can't take back from us.
Rescue will be here soon.
You're almost a real adult, Lunacy. Wish I was as close as you.
Got him.
Yeah.
Dab on him.
Oh look, 37%, almost
Look, I'm winning.
exclusively the
We're
Luna-Terra.
winning.
I'm winning! So, I have to ask,
So,
how do you really feel about me coming back to Memorial Foundation?
You were a loyal and efficient ace pilot for Memorial Foundation for the entire Cold War, against our alien and ultimately irrelevant existential threat from beyond the system. Then you were perfectly loyal to the pilots left adrift by the decommissioning of the pilot program and colonization project. Now you're perfectly loyal to Memorial Foundation again. You haven't betrayed our side at all.
That's a generous rating.
You've betrayed plenty of love-struck pilots, but your political loyalty is impeccable. So even if Halamede doesn't trust or forgive you, I welcome your return.
That's not going to be a problem, that she doesn't?
Oh, she welcomes your return the most, but keep on your toes.
That one, I don't have any questions about. Keep your friends close and your exes closer. Except, if you're not still suspicious of me for betraying Memorial Foundation, how about her?
Oh, that I'll be mad at both of you about for a very long time. Please don't worry about it, however, as you've both made each other suffer more than enough to make up for your youthful indiscretions. Honestly, the two of you hooking up to somehow get at me was the most hilarious part, as you ended up punishing each other more than I ever could have.
Can we talk politics again? I think I get the picture already.
That's not to say that the two of you don't still have a lot of lessons left to learn from the experience. Once I'm sure you've learned them, your punishment will be over.
I'm suddenly very interested in hearing about factions again.
Oh, on that note, I'm not as worried. Just remain true to what you truly believe in, Luna-Terra.
Okay, bye.
Luna-Terra, did you fuck my niece? Did you fuck my niece, Luna-Terra?
I did.
Speaking of Luna-Terra, or fuck, Europa's niece. Give me a second to find the @ here. This one Twitter account who sometimes they are here on the stream, @HalamedeMF. One of my favorite bits, and the bit is Chaser Halamede. Aggressively a Chaser Halamede.
God.
It's a what's no. I'm trying to find a really good one. Oh, there we go. I wake up, I wash my face and brush my teeth, I choose my day's outfit, I put on a little light makeup, I make myself a little breakfast plate of fruit crackers and cheeses, and I think, wow, it's so good that some special girls are born transgendered.
God.
Well, it's the only thought I had in my head until I've had my coffee, which comes after my after-breakfast stretches. Truly one of my favorite bits, Chaser Hallie. If you're in the chat and I didn't notice, I am so sorry. And if you're watching the VOD, good content, just good fucking content. Anyway. Oh, hey. These are the same person.
It's Otter.
It's Otter time.
It's Otter time.
Otter, which
It's
one do you
Otter
want?
time.
Which do you want to be, Mommy Dom first or the hero?
Let's do the first one first.
Gotcha.
Subject: RE. Declassified Records Leak. Operations Commander, Europa. My kids are idiots, and also they're not my kids, and also they're not kids anymore. Please stop calling them your kids when they are my students. They're not my children. I am not being pedantic. I am not doing it to avoid being attached. I'm already more attached than is best. Don't encourage it. They're grown-ups, and also fools. Mars is the most genius pilot, but she's just as much a fool as everyone else. She does nothing but cry and complain and win effortlessly, like a real hero. If she was a boy, they would call her that, and you wouldn't be asking me who the best pilot is. You just know. Only in space would that girl be allowed to be a hero. She deserves her moment in the sun. She might win the war for us single-handedly. Anything else that isn't her story will just be a blip of fate off in the sky. Rest easy. She's going to win the day. When the others intervene, they're not going to steer the course of the future any more than a little bit to the left or right of the course that Mars is sailing. I am not going to interfere. Valuing their independence is important. They'll be adults soon, and then they won't be anyone's kids. Insist on the comparison, and it will become clear how far we are from fulfilling that role for them. For my part, I don't wish to forget that there are limits to what they can do and who we can be. Though yes, as a matter of fact, I am tired of them calling me Dad.
Okay, Dad.
Then quit being a dad.
Yeah, quit being a dad.
Yeah.
You could just stop.
Yeah, knock it off then.
Oh. Okay. I don't know why you suddenly asked about this, and I am not the person who knows anything about it, but sure, I guess. I learned all of this from Pluto, so you could have just asked her. Too nervous, huh? I see right through you. Well, because I feel sorry for you, I'll tell you about it. Venus, Luna-Terra, and Mars are the interpersonal distances. If Venus is the breath of the body, and Mars is the blood, Luna-Terra is the flesh, and represents skin-to-skin distance. That's why it represents family. The Earth and the Moon are different, but they're parts of the same thing. A 2-in-1, certainly. The Moon also represents something different, but it's also a part of us. When you think of it as a dark side, you forget that it's composed of your own same flesh. It's not your mirror, it's your back. Mars is the beneath the skin distance, and that's blood, but it's also, well, the ways that humans communicate, not skin to skin, but beneath skin to skin. But beneath skin to beneath skin. Get it?
No.
Don't make me spell it out. That's the reason for fucking and fighting to feel really similar sometimes.
Man-to-man alliance.
Talk to
Pluto.
God.
God.
Cockroach warriors.
See, it's called docking because we all have ships.
Man
I
to
see.
man, cock to cock.
Yes.
Shaft
Docking
to
the
shaft.
ships off.
Sorry, Adder.
Pluto said the other day, it's like you two only to know that one language, and that's the only talking you ever do in it. The solar system maps out a human body, and by colonizing the planets, a greater human body will exist, with the sun as the inseparable totality of it all. That's the philosophical justification, but it's kind of romantic, right? Maybe it's kind of fake though.
I can't believe Luna-Terra needed Mars to explain to her fucking celestial mechanics.
I don't get
Or
it.
secular astrology, sorry.
What?
I wasn't paying attention in class. I was making out with girls.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna forget all this.
Speaking of, it's time for a 400. That's not millimeter. I'm sure it's a much greater difference.
Megameter.
It's something stupid.
Macrometer.
400 man-to-man
Megamind.
kiss. Because cockroach warriors still. But anyway, Memorial Foundation deploys a certain sniper to stop escape and resupply routes to the resting Celestial Mechanics fleet. All Saturn needs to do is stay out of trouble. What's the chance of that? Launch.
They always making me snipe.
They making me sniper.
Guard duty in Olympus City?
Command is worried the Celestial Mechanics unit might try to escape while the fleet is launching, using the cityscape as cover.
Then they've just given up on catching them on Ares if their only hope of... Then they've just given up on catching them on Ares if their only hope is them being that stupid. It's a ruined husk, and even Cradle's Graces isn't clinging to it, like they cling to even the faintest sign of life on Mars. Excuse me, Ares. Well, it's boring, pointless work that no one wants to do, and it's gotta make me wonder if someone's actually mad at me.
You let the prototype escape, Luna-Terra, and the most generous assumption is incompetence, which from you they have a hard time buying.
That's not fair. I'm plenty incompetent. They should know that by now.
You are only incompetent in the ways you wish to be.
Owned.
That's an awfully profound way to call me lazy.
If you were simply lazy, you wouldn't go out of your way to find so much trouble to get in.
Owned.
And that's the reason why this assignment is so disastrous as a punishment. Boring you is dangerous. I learned that very early on in your career. There's no way to make you sit still.
Oh? Maybe I'll try it this time. There's this good sniper spot with a view of the whole city. I won't move from there.
Why does it sound less like you are promising to behave? And more like you're going to brag about how much trouble you can get in without even moving.
Either way, they're sure to put me back on the front, right?
So, funny thing.
Oh, did I no-scope last time?
Yeah,
you
get-
got
you
no
get
scoped. So,
get known.
Now I'm gonna lose this time.
surprise.
Yeah.
Luna-Terra gets a point-blank
One
encounter.
more time.
This
One for
is
the road.
this is the
For old
only
time's sake.
time in the entirety of Luna-Terra's route that we are going to choose a non-Memorial Foundation thing.
Oh, yeah.
Opening futures, closing pasts.
The balance... Oh, do you want to go ahead?
Okay, sure. The balance shifts because Saturn moved and Luna-Terra couldn't.
Got you. She does. Saturn is as good as already down. But so is Luna-Terra.
Got you too. Pure spite got Saturn this far, and it will get her even farther. She takes aim and fires. Luna-Terra, perfectly still for the perfect shot, is perfectly unable to get out of the way in time. Saturn String of Pearls is laid out flat on her back, creaking and twitching, and Luna-Terra's Mar Chrysium falls from her sniper spot like a burning star. Luna-Terra wakes up first, but her flight unit is shot. It's hard to hide a ship that can't fly in a city, but the Mar Chrysium is full of unfair tricks. Shooting her down is just the beginning. You have to catch her next. That's alright with Saturn. She's at her best when everyone is in the dirt. When she wakes up, she's ready. She might be in worse shape than Luna-Terra, but worse shape is her best. String of Pearls skirts along the half-constructed city with the shape of ruins and the pristine finish of plastic toys still in their boxes. Looking for the whole Luna-Terra's nestled in.
I'm so sorry.
How dare you?
Fuck you.
Wow.
Fuck you.
Looking for the hole that Luna-Terra's nestled in and dodging her shots of protest. Reboot took longer than I thought, but ready or not, here I come. Hey, come out, come out, come out. You almost got me the last time you poked your head out to shoot. Try again.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Aw, come on. I'm not babbling to trick you or anything. I'm just having a great time here. I'd love it if you'd stop making me feel like I'm just talking to myself.
I can hear you just fine, Saturn.
What, this isn't exciting enough? I guess that's why you're the ace pilot, LT. I need to have you on the ropes to taunt you and dodge at the same time. An ear-splitting crash. Oh.
Okay, an ear-splitting crash. Impossible to tell which direction the shot came from. The cover around Saturn explodes. I'm an ace because I keep my priorities straight.
That's not what I've heard.
What have you heard?
That keeping your priorities straight is the thing that you're the worst at. That it is pretty much your most obvious weak point.
Maybe they don't know what my priorities are.
Is getting shot down by an idiot with no combat experience high on your priority list? The building next to Saturn explodes. Is missing all the time high on your priority list?
You really are a brat.
Is getting harassed constantly by flirtatious brats high on your priority list?
You're really on your toes today. I can't hit you with anything.
Yeah, I'm having fun too.
What a mess. I don't know why I'm laughing about it, or having so much fun.
I'm glad you think so.
It's a funny kind of date, if you put it that way.
If this fighting is just play fighting, then keep playing with me. You should be careful though. You never know what I might try next. I've got so many plans for dragging you out in the sun.
Like what? Are they working on me?
Of course. Stop underestimating me. I'm executing several plans as we speak. You're not at all ready, Luna-Terra. I'm not giving you any way out.
You're not going to at least give me a hint? I'm at a disadvantage here.
You can't trick me into giving it all away. But maybe you're right. Maybe I should be generous and let you know just a hint about one plan.
You're generous. You should know this, but winning isn't my highest priority. It won't mean that I'm easy, though.
Hey, we do think alike, at least on the first half of that. If you love winning, the stalemate of this whole conflict should bore you to tears. All that's left in space are second choice pilots who suck at things like winning, no matter how good they are. I'm the second choice, but I'm the pilot that's here right now, and no one else would have thought of the plan I did.
Oh? I'm a second choice, too. Or I wouldn't be here. It's that great a plan?
Really? You? Oh, it's not a good plan. It's just that no one else would do it because I'd have to be a freak to try and catch you on foot.
The first choice would never be sent to space in the first place. That does sound like a crazy plan to me. What would you even do if you found me, assuming I'm standing still?
I know it sounds like I'm showing off, but I couldn't beat you in a fair fight, so anything else is in my favor, right? Maybe it's the only way around that ghost ship of yours and how much of a genius you are. I can track any ship that I've hit once.
I also have ways of being being so sudden you can never find me.
You're right, but you couldn't have, but you haven't used them.
Maybe not.
Also, did you know that your Marcrisium has a manual bypass for opening the cockpit?
Yes.
Oh, good. But I'll knock anyway. The gentle hiss suppressor and the cockpit opens.
Surprise!
Hello.
Hey,
Oh,
no,
right, this is a
get
good
out of my
scene.
room.
Hi. You look a little different, not nearly so smug.
You look a lot different. I remember you now. You were such a good girl. I never would have thought that was you.
You're smiling, Luna-Terra. Did something good just happen?
You must really trust me to come unarmed.
Why would I need to be? I win. I'd say I'm pretty dangerous just like this.
You think of everything.
Never mind, Never mind. Do you look infuriatingly smug for someone I just beat? You do look infuriatingly smug for someone I just beat. Step away from the controls.
Sure. I'm not laughing at you. I'm impressed. You know, even still, in a fake fight, you have no respect. You have no respect for. No one takes me this seriously. I'm a Memorial Foundation ace, but just by default, after the good ones left. So I don't mind losing to you, since you think I'm so cool. Luna-Terra kneels by the controls, hands up, but they're still in reach. Saturn climbs the open hatch.
No sudden movements, and I don't think you're cool.
What do you want now? My ship? Me? They're both useless.
I'll decide that. I don't need your ship out of commission. I'm going to be much cooler than you are very soon, and then I'll beat you sort of fair and square. But maybe I should reprogram this ship to be absolutely sure.
Luna-Terra whips around so fast Saturn's pinned down in the cockpit seat before she can tell how it happened. Sorry, but touching there isn't allowed.
So, then where is touching allowed?
Whoops.
You are absolutely much more dangerous without a gun. Luna-Terra's hand is on Saturn's collar, and her other is on Saturn's wrist. Saturn slips her hand free down LT's arm.
So how about here?
That's fine.
What about here?
I won't stop you.
You don't mind if I touch your face, but you won't let me touch your ship?
Some places on the ship are fine. Some places on me are fine. Which do you want to know right now?
Is this? Damn it.
So how's unbuttoning my shirt going? It's harder than it looks at that angle with just one hand, huh?
Just make out with me, you heinous bitch.
Awful.
Luna-Terra had this idea, but instead she forgets it. She finds she's let her grip go slack, and Saturn's nearly leapt out of the chair to kiss her. That thought is a little surprising, but her body made the right call. In the moments in between when she was too busy overthinking it.
Saturn seems a little mad about being about that smug face Luna-Terra is making and bites Luna-Terra's lip as they kiss. It doesn't encourage Luna-Terra to stop being like that.
This is absolutely insane.
Are you kidding? What could possibly be a better use of your time? Don't tell me duty is why you're fighting out here. Or would you have or you would have stopped that. Or you would have stopped me before I opened the hatch.
You're not just here for fun. You're not doing this just because there's no point and you're killing time before the war collapses one way or another.
Obviously, I can be sure and still make out with you.
God.
Would it disappoint you if I wasn't? Oh, don't make that face. I can tell it would. That's good, though. I feel the same way. I wouldn't have let you flirt if that's just all you were.
How can you be so sure?
Looks like I know something you don't. Even if it's just one thing.
I'm always the last to know.
You always make it seem like you don't know what you're doing. Like you know what you're doing. Excuse
Just
me.
acting on instinct. My body knows what to do.
Then you should be asking her. She'll know just what to do.
Interesting.
Is this me?
Yeah, this
September
is Dr.
12th,
Nix.
1963. That's when the first and last artificial colony of the native sphere was completed in a tranquil bowl of stable gravity at Lagrange Point 5. As the front line against existential threats, a training facility for a generation of humans adapted to fight in space. As a colony environment with the life, gravity, and culture necessary for human beings to live, thrive, die, and be born. With the hope that peace on Earth would reign if we won the war in heaven. Without pressure, water boils off our tongues and we dissolve into component parts. Without culture, we forget the shapes we were supposed to have and turn inside out into something else. Out of necessity, we created a pressurized environment, exerting enough gravitational pressure to maintain cohesion, all senses, in space. The ships self-just ferry us through the world. They function only in places where the gravity of humans is too light to sustain existence. It was doomed from the start. Of course they were jealous. Of the humans the Earth no longer wanted, flying on zero-G wings. Dr. Nix, Executive Director, Memorial Foundation, Existential Expansion.
That's Dr. Nix.
It's me.
Oh, what about Europa? What does Europa have to say?
July 29th, 1958. That's when the Memorial Foundation International Executive Committee was granted international authority in the spirit of unified human peace and the verified presence of an existential threat outside of the solar system to establish a cultural, military, and scientific response to existential threats. No longer confined to Earth, a growing native sphere where our gravity reigns forever, safety, research, and expansion. The three pillars of the Memorial Foundation's space branch will protect Earth from without as it has from within. Free from the old world's gravity, it would be possible to advance science, art, and culture without constraint and join hands, all of Earth finally unified. For Memorial Foundation, protecting humans from other humans through peace on Earth and protecting humans from everything else through war in heaven would fulfill both of our agendas simultaneously. We really foolishly decided we could do better. There are two errors to this approach. The first is that to do better in heaven is meaningless if it cannot be exported to Earth. The space program was never rejected by the surface. It simply did not have enough relevance to sustain interest. The second error is the intrinsic error of Memorial Foundation. The existential threat is intrinsic to humanity. You can fight it, but you cannot cut it out. The designation of alien is required by humans. We cannot trick an existential threat into a convenient manifestation. As it has always been, only humans can fulfill the criteria to be alien. Europa, Chief Officer, Memorial Foundation, Existential Safety.
Yo, these old people will not shut up. January 2nd, 1980. that's when they blew up the Lagrange colony. It was a real shame. It was green, wet, and very peaceful place. Now, it's a very cold, green, wet, and very unsettling place. So we did a lot of legitimately incredible things, like create sustainable tidal reactors, new culture, experiment with human bodies and human development, manufacture self-sufficient alter egos for space exploration, and did everything other than successfully combat the unknowable existential threat. Earth and the Memorial Foundation Service considers that a failure, but in truth, they're just not trying hard enough. Through gravity, humans decide what is real and what is not. Humans cannot make whatever they imagine come true. Through imagining, humans chart out what is true. They invent, with human effort, what exists. Thus, if an existential threat doesn't exist, we just have to make one. But of course, it doesn't work like that. Nothing could be more difficult than creating something alien. Our only reference points are human, so the idea of something alien is unimaginable, because we cannot imagine outside of those terms. There's a certain degree of misunderstanding needed for humanities to successfully classify something as alien. But before they blew it up, we got very close. Iapetus, Executive Director, Memorial Foundation Existential Research. Dave, let me check a thing. Oh, you're receiving a report, Lunacy.
Uh-oh, what now?
I'm sure it's good, right?
Yeah. Oh no, what now? Abandon Ares frontline. All units immediately rendezvous with main fleet at the Pilot Academy Lagrange colony on the way to Celestial Mechanics moon base. Oh, new assignment. Provisional assignment, Special Operations Mission. Secure Lagrange colony as possible launch point for Celestial Mechanics hit-and-run tactics. Provisional assignment, Special Operations Mission. It's capitalized here, but not in the first one. Destruction of obsolete Academy research technology before it falls into the hands of Cradle's Graces.
Europa, you didn't fucking have spell check on, did
Hope
you?
somebody got fired for this blunder. Provisional assignments will reduce my penalty status, indicate that I've understood new orders. Yeah, okay. Ready for gravitational catapult. Let's go!
Oh, hey, look. Wow. Turns out that one
whoops.
choice.
Haha, oops.
Oops.
Let's see. I think
I didn't do that.
Check. We'll finish off the rest of the mail and comms, and well, in the meantime, Mars, can you finish this shit about secular astrology? I was a little confused last time.
Yeah, I wasn't really listening the first time you explained it.
Oh my fucking god, Lunatic. I only did this because you asked, okay? I warned you, this is dorky stuff. The ancient roots of it are pretty dubious, in case you were wondering. I think most of it is just made up. I mean, yes, I know that it's all made up, but not even made up by some wise man 1,000 years ago. It's made up by some dude in California. Anyways, what the dude from California does is he organizes the parts of the body into the parts of the mind and the spirit, and he says that what you should do is think about your body not as a body, but as a tool for relating to other people. I know that they draw them on a body, but it's like, don't think of them as actual body parts. It's the way that you communicate. So this chart might help. I think the point of it, in a way, is to remember that these are all parts of you, but also parts of other people, and you have ways of communication between each other using them. People always ask me for their charts because they want to be flattered about what they're good at, but that's not the point. You need to know where you have trouble too. I looked at mine so much right before we broke up, you know? Like it did any good, but you know, I'm so weak when it comes to Venus. That's the distance of breath, which means ability to read atmosphere and talking, the way we communicate through breath. I believe that should say the way we would communicate through breath. When you're bad at Venus, that doesn't mean you're bad with words, but you're bad at receiving words. You don't hear them, or you don't feed other people the words they need to live. Well, according to your chart, you're bad at that too. So I hope it helps.
Wow.
Doesn't. Thanks.
Great context that gives us is Luna-Terra didn't send this while all of them were in Memorial Foundation. Luna-Terra probably sent the question, hey, what does this shit mean? Yeah. Hey, I know I'm like on the opposite side of a war and you're supposed to like murder me, but
I don't get this.
What does my birth chart say?
Yeah, this is just how much all of them care about the war.
Mm-hmm.
What? The war is very interesting, but what does my chart mean?
It's very serious.
What does it mean that my seventh house is in Mars? I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Please read my sign.
Please,
Queen. I'll fight you on the battlefield next week. I just need to know the shit now.
Oh wow! None of these people are me. That's so
this
weird.
Is me and Otter. All right.
Talking about other me.
He's not coming out of a room. Refuses to pilot it. Figures the most well-behaved of all Generation 2 pilots would have a tantrum like a storm when it finally came.
Do you expect me to know what to do about it?
Yes.
It's really your problem, though, isn't it?
Don't start. I am begging.
Fine, fine. What's the big problem, then? She'll get over it. Is she upset about her sister?
Of course she is. But not for the reason I thought.
What did you think?
That she missed her?
Hilarious. And what's the actual reason?
She won't accept a hand-me-down?
The low sulky? She won't pilot it? She won't pilot the perfect second-generation machine because it was made for her sister?
She wants her own machine made. She's ridiculous. She said it would be fine if she died. But if it's just because she flaked out and got bored with space and left her problem in Halimede's lap, she won't do it. Siblings really this petty and mean? Stop laughing and help. Do not laugh at me. No.
I don't understand kids. What do you mean she doesn't miss her sister?
Please.
Dad.
I don't get this.
And I guess
Please.
we'll close it off with comms and then whatever final words we have.
Do we get along better or worse than back then?
Let's talk about something else.
Oh, is it really so bad these days?
We don't get along because we're too much like each other.
We used to be so different. What happened?
I got older and learned a lot. That's enough to make me more like you.
You're not giving me enough credit.
Now, Europa was a bad dude.
Really? Do you think I'd blame you for being too good at teaching me the same lessons that made you who you are?
Well, I'd always hoped.
I'd blame you if I felt like it. There's nothing to blame you for. Nothing you warned me about turned out like you said, so I stopped paying attention to any of your advice. I thought I was too smart for the rest, so it's just a coincidence we ended up like each other. I never minded your lessons.
Are you sure? I was a harsh teacher. Are you really glad for it?
I am happy for everything I learned. Not for everything you taught me. I mean, it wasn't like you were wrong. Everything you said would happen happened. But none of it happened like you said it would. If I followed your advice to the letter, it wouldn't have helped me at all. It was all just different enough. So I came up with my own answers. It wasn't until I looked back on them that I realized it was exactly what you would have done.
Fair, I suppose. I should count that as a success for me. But also, due to your effort, for you. That's just what I wanted, though. I certainly never wanted a carbon copy of myself. I wanted you to improve on what you'd been handed.
Did you think you did a good job?
Shouldn't you be asking yourself that question, since you're the one in charge of the education?
I was afraid you'd say that.
Don't come to me for answers now, of all times.
Well, at least there's plenty of time left for me to turn out right at the end.
Debatable.
Bye. Fuck you.
Fuck
Bye.
you. Eat shit. Die.
Fuck you.
Woof. Well, what do we think of today's episode of Heaven Will Be Monday?
Wow.
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 I learned a lot.
I learned a lot, and
I
I learned that it makes a difference.
Now, Europa was a bad dude.
It's a bad dude.
Oh my god, I was delaying. I was like trying to delay, like, when the fuck is Amy's stream gonna start up? When the fuck is the writer of this game? She's supposed to be streaming right now. Literally just went live.
Yeah.
So we can rate her.
Rate her. Wow.
Raider.
As always, that Raider.
You know, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raider. Just like ISIS. Thank you again, everyone, for coming by. You know, keep watching, keep joining in, recommend to your friends, because, like, I'm literally 8 followers away from affiliate. I'm
Wow.
gonna get it. Road to affiliate. Gonna be able to start having subs and make pennies from this nonsense.
What kind of subs? Meatball?
Italian. I'm a more of Italian hoagie kind of girl. I haven't had a meatball sub in some years. Go to Wawa, get some. Anyway, I'm going to try and remember to do Silent Hill 3. I promise. Me and Nate will return with Silent Hill 3. I promise. I just
Eventually.
keep forgetting. It's very easy to stick to Monday's schedule. As for next week, I'm on the fence if I want to do our last episode next week or take Heaven Will Be Monday off for a week, because it's a particular day. Keep an eye on my Twitter or even my Twitch channel. Come by next week on Monday and see. Play to find out what happens. No matter what, when we do the next episode, I'm going to have a stupid little gimmick. So, look forward to that. It's really stupid. It's one of the only times you'll have my camera on while I stream, if that gives it away too much. Right, otherwise, let me click this rate button and hope everyone has a great night, because that's my plan. Wow.
Thank you for coming by, everyone.
Bye.
Ready to start rating
Bye.
some seconds.
Some seconds.
Bye 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 bye. Hey, we're rating.